Alrighty. Well, I am... Alright, so there's a couple of things that I wanted to really come in and focus on. Before we do quite get going in any way, shape, or form, and I'll tell you, I am in no way sponsored by American Truck or SCS Software, no way. But I do want to show you guys. No. Steam. So what I wanted to show you guys here today is we're gonna go to a couple places. First off, if you are looking to get some games, American Truck Simulator is available for it. Now, there is a big bundle that I wanted to come out and share with you. Let me click on Oklahoma. Okay. There is called the By the Great Plains Calling Bundle. If you get this bundle, it comes with Nebraska, Kansas, Texas, Oklahoma, Wyoming, Montana, Colorado, and New Mexico for it. Now, of course, I'm only going to pay, the bundle is $28.78 for it. So if you wanted to get a lot of the DLC, this would allow you to get a vast majority of it, of the states, for it. Now you won't get all of the states though. For this, there is a thing that you won't be able to receive the western side of the United States. But if you do buy that bundle, you could also buy the Southwest bundle, which would give you added Utah into it, but you'd also get the special heavy steering creations pack and the classic stripes paints pack. And it would also get you the American Truck Simulator. So what I would personally do is if you're going to buy American Truck Simulator by its own self, I would think about picking one of the Northwest bundles. Pick one of these bundles to add into your cart. This means that you get a whole host of things. Now, I would personally not pick the Northwest bundle in any way, shape, or form. I would probably go and buy the Southwest bundle just because, and then go buy that Great Plains bundle, if it were me. But if you don't have the game yet, I would highly recommend it. You do get the Western Star, the Volvo VNL, you get the 57 and the 49, the International, Freightliners. You get all of those and the Pinochle, and the Freightliner, the Mac, and the Freightliners for it for free. You also get Arizona for free, by the way. So if you do get this game, you automatically get Arizona for free if you just buy it directly. So you get California and Arizona. But I would still recommend that you do that. If you buy the American Truck Simulator stuff, then you will have Missouri, Arkansas. You'll have Missouri and I think Arkansas. I don't think you get all of the Great Plains. You won't get all of it. I think you'll miss like Missouri and Arkansas, but I think you'll be okay. if you wanted to try out the game before you decide to buy it, there is also a demo. Then, also another one that I highly recommend you get from the Steam Summer Sale. I would highly recommend is getting the Euro Truck Simulator 2 bundle. The Essentials bundle is what I would do. You could buy that. Buy the Essentials bundle. But if you want to get a bundle, you could also get some of these bundles like the Balkans, Road to the Black Sea, and Greece. You can get all of those in there for some cheaper price. I would highly recommend you work on getting one of these games. Highly recommended. Now, another game that I would highly recommend, and I believe this is also on sale too, is Makeway. I would highly recommend you get that. That is absolutely 50% off. Is absolutely a steal. Now, the last thing I do wanted to come in and share with you guys about the Steam Summer Sale. Okay. There is one thing, is the featured steep discounts. I would highly recommend you get Borderlands 3, because I have that. I've played that. It's on my Riders Republic is also there as well at a steep discount. It is normally $40, and Crash Bandicoot the Insane Trilogy. Battlefront 2 is cheaper now, so you could get that as well. I don't think there's DLC, but you could buy a bundle for the Star Wars Battlefront Celebration Edition. But hey, you do get something to play with that. And then the last thing I will highly recommend that you guys do pick up, and if you are somebody who wants to make games and wants to do this, RPG Maker. MZ is 50% off. And I would highly recommend that you get that. You could also get the RPG Maker MV and MZ bundle. Now, the bundle, of course, is going to save you a whole bunch of money as well. If you're looking to make a game and want to make a game, absolutely fantastic stuff. If you wanted some more of the Maker series, XP is like $249. VX Ace is like $697. So if you're looking to build something and you want to make something, RPG Maker VX, I would recommend it. You do not get VX, you go VX Ace. But if you say you wanted a bundle, you could go with RPG Maker XP. You can get, like, if you get any art assets from RPG Maker from the Maker series, you can bring them over and use them in later stuff as well if you are wanting to. The RPG Maker VX Ace, you could buy this and give, and you and 3 copy for you and 3 to give to friends. If you are a developer, I would highly, and you have like 4 people on your team, you get it, and then you can give it to 3 other people to work on your game with you. And then you got a whole host of DLC and stuff for it too. So if you wanted to like that RPG Maker XP, if it's like that much, it's like it's so cheap that it's on it. You got, you know, the um um software. Um, and you got the RPG Maker 2000, 2003, and you got all of these. So you can get a whole host, a bunch of RPG Maker stuff if you wanted to start making a game. Even for even for $2, you can go and get this version of RPG Maker and start making a game. It's absolutely a great way to get in and make some games for all of it. Um, so, and then the final one I will tell you that you guys should pick up is the Halo Master Chief Collection. If you haven't picked that up, I would highly pick that up right away. Um, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy XII, Final Fantasy IX, all decent there. The last thing I do wanted to share with you guys is Mucenix is decent, as well as Architect, Planet Zoo, Railroute. I believe if you go to store page, I believe Railroute is off. So if you wanted to buy Railroute, and add the happy passengers, I'd buy that, to be honest. If I were you, I would buy this bundle because it comes with Railroute itself, and then you get the soundtrack and the happy passengers. So it's all relatively some good stuff out there, guys. Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, are some good stuff out there. There's some good stuff you guys can go look at. Now Borderlands, I will already tell you that I already own Planet Coaster 2. I already own Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo, but I own it on the PlayStation side of Planet Coaster 2, and only because I had some PlayStation gift cards, and I was like, I'm just gonna grab it from there. And that now I have decided that I am not gonna be playing Truckers MP, guys. Yeah. All right. Okay. Um. Let's go to Jackpot, Nevada. Idaho. Okay, now I'm not gonna go out and directly do this job. Because we'll see how, because it's got 6 hours to remain on this, and I did not check to see how long. I cannot wait for when they decide to give us that Route 66, that distance of Route 66. Yeah. So, anywho, but I will say the Steam Summer Sale has some good stuff going on. It's enough that I will recommend that you pick up something from the Steam Summer Sale. There's probably something out there for you. Now, I will tell you, anything that has a 10% off, I would not recommend it. Unless it just recently came out, like the Missouri DLC for American Truck. I do not have all the DLC, for obvious reasons. And there's an obvious reason, is because I am actually saving I have some cash is still in my wallet, where I am saving for some DLC for Eurotruck, because they're getting out because they're slowly working on getting Iceland out for the American for Euro Truck Simulator. So that's why I don't have all the DLC. I have the money to get to get most of the DLC minus Missouri, but I'm not gonna get Missouri right now because okay, so 6 hours. So it's basically 6 hours and 35 minutes on this trip. We might have to speed a little bit, just to make up some of that time, and hopefully, what if we went this way? That would make it about 7 hours. Yeah, so we will have to see. We'll have to maybe see if we can make up a little bit of that time. I did not pay attention. That's why when you look at the stuff from here, you want to make sure that you get everything set up and everything properly done. I've already gone through some of the stuff earlier, showing you guys what's the best Steam Summer Sale stuff to get. You know, the big steep discounts, I would highly recommend you pick up something from the steep discounts. If you don't have the Master Chief Collection, at like $10, you're getting a whole host of games. You're getting everything up to, you're getting Halo Reach to Halo 4 for $10. That is absolutely a steal, for even those old titles. I have played them. I have played everyone except for Halo 4. I have found Halo not being the best, in all of its entirety. Let me make sure. For it. And I will say, it's one of those things where there's this thing that the summer sale, like a lot of times, like you go through these sales, what you should really, and a place that I recommend that you actually go and look for is go to Steam DB, and go and look at that, and if you look at that and you say, okay, are you getting the lowest rated deal for that game, is absolutely the best thing you should be doing. Don't just go out there and buy these things and say, oh well, I'm not gonna get these stuff because it's lowest rated. Remember, if that game has been out for over like a year, 2 years, even 3, and you're not getting the lowest rated deal, you're no way, any way, shape, or form getting the best. Now, if I needed gas, I would have gone that way, but I don't need gas. And we cannot make any mistakes, because if we... But within a lot of... Hold on, guys. I was just checking the... this so that I can see, a chat for both. I probably should be using ground control, to be honest. Like that, we can't be making silly, stupid mistakes. But I will say, like, you have to be thinking about the ability to, you gotta be thinking about what's the ideally some of the best stuff to get. Remember, not only is the summer sale going on for this, you also got other summer sales probably. I think Epic's having one. I think PlayStation's had one. So you got to think about it. But I will tell you, there is another place that I will highly recommend. That I should say I would highly recommend that you do not do this. Is go out and buy a used Switch. Because if you're out there buying a used Switch, you are running that risk of a bricked console. I have literally not updated my Switch 2. I will never update that thing. Because I don't like what Nintendo... I will do not consent to them at all requiring me to get... If there's an update, it's like I'm never going to use that Switch anymore, because that Switch is not something... I would not recommend people go out and buy the Switch. If you want to modify your system, play whatever games you want, and you want a portable device, go get a Steam Deck, go get a ROG Ally, go get a Lenovo, Lenovo Legion Go, Lenovo Legion Go S. I actually have physically said this, and I will not be buying any more Switches. I might even, to the point of where I would pretty much, if I can get a job, I will pretty much sell my Switch and all of its properties and all of its games. Pretty much no longer going to be purchasing or buying Nintendo products until they can basically fix their crap with this stink on... Yeah, no, it's telling me I shouldn't be going... Should only be going 40, but I actually went there. And I'll tell you, it's like the Switch is nowhere near any way, shape, or form should you be buying a Switch. A Switch or a Switch 2, if you only want it for the Nintendo titles, okay, go for it, but I wouldn't even recommend it. I am not gonna buy the Switch 2 because of that reason. I have now finally basically said I am officially caving to not buying it. Because it's like the Switch 2 does not, like I do not consent for it. I should be allowed to modify, like this computer, I can modify it any way that I want to. I have every right to do it. Okay? I should be able to have that same exact right to modify my Switch to any point of, like, you know, yes, I should be allowed to do it. And if they aren't willing to fix the, like, you know, you have the mix switch, well, all they had to do was just come out and literally disable the mix switch. And that's all they had to do. And it's like they didn't even, it's like they didn't even, you know, the whole thing of it is I should be able to modify it in my way. And it's like the same reason why I don't like Apple. Because Apple pretty much basically, it's the same reason why I am more of an advocate for, you know, the reason why I play only PlayStation is because PlayStation has basically considers their consumers, protects their consumers, and please pull. Arg. I did not expect to have to do this. So it's one of those things where Nintendo has not really shown that they are willing to listen to their consumers. They basically, you know, companies that okay. They're spaced just right. But I'm like the Switch does, like, that's the thing that gets me. It's not that the Switch 2 is worse off because it has an OLED, because it doesn't have an OLED screen. Trust me, I don't go buy out an OLED. I don't like OLEDs, to be honest. And as long as I'm able to not buy an OLED, I am fine. Unless it's the last resort and I can't buy LCDs, I cannot buy things like that. The Switch is the biggest
Did the Trump administration just win a Supreme?
So it's actually, no, if I'm gonna be speeding, I'm gonna stay over here. Because we need to get there in a decent time frame. But it's like, you look at the issues that, you know, with the Steam Deck and, I mean, Nintendo Switch. It's like, who has better proposition? who is more open source, who is willing to be more open with their consumers, making sure that they're getting the best out of their life. If you actually looked at the main the people that have consoles, people that have a console in any way, shape, or form. Okay, first we have PlayStation, we have Nintendo, we have Microsoft, we have Steam. Okay, I'm gonna consider Steam Deck on this. We have Meta. Okay, because MetaQuest is out there. Who is out there supporting you, the consumer, more than any other platform? Microsoft, Nintendo, Microsoft, Nintendo, or Sony, or Steam. And if you went out and said Nintendo, you're sorely mistaken. Nintendo's not there for the consumer anymore. Do we? No, we're not getting off it. There. Okay, good. The thing is you guys don't realize that Nintendo has lost my interest. You know, I will still continue to play Nintendo games, but I will no longer be buying non Nintendo Wii consoles. If it's not Nintendo Wii, GameCube, or older Nintendo products, DS, 3DS. Basically, if I can, like, Nintendo 3DS or older for those kind of systems, yep. If they are willing to allow me to brick my system, require me to always be online, then it's no way, shape, or form am I gonna be somewhere supporting games like that, where like Steam is not allowing you to be always online. Yes, you have to check in every so often, just to make sure that you know that you're getting the best out of it. It's like I can play a lot of games and not always have to be connected online. And that's a fantastic thing. I love not being required to connect to online servers all the time. Gaming companies, games that do that, it allows for me to be able to have the best for it. You know, I always advocate for, you know, their piracy. Look, I don't advocate for piracy, but I will tell you, I'm pretty sure it's probably about time that that sometimes piracy might be a better option for us now. And I would highly recommend you do it. Do it now. If it comes down to that point. It's the same thing. It's like being required to be always online is not something I want to be able to do. Playing a video game, I should not have to, if it's a single player game, I should not have to be connected to online. Okay? Those are the things. Now, of course, there's a couple of exceptions where I do make those exceptions, because most of the time I'm just going to go out and play the story mode once, and I'm never going to go back and play it, and that's Call of Duty. Call of Duty, I'm not going to do that. But when I can go out there and I can go play Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, without having to be online, without having to be connected, it's like, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point in all of the Thanks, Deo Q12. What is the point? And what is the point with Nintendo doing this? And what is the point? Why? Because they don't want them to modify their system because they don't want to, because they lose money on their bottom line, and it's like, okay, but let me be clear, Microsoft, I don't know why I went down a little bit, but I did, because there's a cop up in front of me. But why spend all of my time? Why should I have to thanks, George, for joining the Trovo stream. Thank you for joining the Trovo. But, you know, it's always great that, you know, Nintendo, you know, not just Nintendo, but Nintendo's starting to get worse. Microsoft is starting to get better, worse at it too. I'm not gonna say that Microsoft is any better. The only system that absolutely has not changed, and has actually kept what they've been doing. Yeah, they're not releasing a lot of games, they're not getting a lot, but Sony has been doing the work. Sony has been getting the work and continuing to support that. The mentality of not always having to be connected online, not always having to be always online. Microsoft is the same way, but Microsoft is doing some other things that are not even great either, because, you know, Windows Recall, you know, it's only on certain computers, but it's not. It's like secure. It's not secure. Windows Recall is never secure. Not only isn't that not a secured. Windows is basically they're forcing you to have to upgrade to Windows 11 now, and it's like, how long has Windows 10 been out? Like, I am pretty sure, like, I could understand up to Windows 10. I can understand Windows 10. Anything older than Windows 10 I can understand a little bit, but Windows 10 should not be. They should not be dropping Windows 10 support. They should be keeping the Windows 10 and Windows 11 support, because basically, okay, so if I miss, I don't get why I have to pull into this station, but it's basically, Nintendo, basically these companies are no longer your friend. But I will tell you, companies that are your friend, places that are your friend, is Linux. Linux is your friend. Linux is going to be better for you, for the best operating system over Microsoft, over Nintendo, over any operating system, because Linux is open source. You know, Steam is actively working on supporting Linux. They are absolutely working on with Proton. They are working to get games running on Linux through that layer. They are doing the work. They are making sure that we are able to play wherever we want to play. Having the ability to play wherever we decide to choose is fantastic. If you want to go play Nintendo Switch 2, go play the Nintendo Switch 2. If you want to go play on PlayStation, go play on a PlayStation. Go play on Xbox. Go play wherever you decide you want to play. But if you are somebody that wants to have a better choice for operating and being able to choose what you want, is go and get a thing like that. Go and get these things. But I will tell you, I will be my next computer will not be a Windows-based operating system. I will be building a computer around Bazzite, and having this computer will still be Windows 11, but I will be shifting this computer that I'm currently utilizing for I'll be switching this computer over to utilizing as a streaming platform for Windows, and then have a computer for Linux based, and have a computer that's built on Bazzite, built on SteamOS, whatever. When SteamOS decides it's favorable for anybody to load up, as long as it's AMD, of course. Okay, we are gonna need to get off here on the 90, Interstate 90. So it's so it's one of those things where it's absolutely god awful for Nintendo right now. And I feel bad for them. It's like they were once revered as one of the greatest systems of all time. But to be honest, I'm actually going to be honest. I'm actually going to probably change. To be honest, I'm actually going, if I do get rid of my Switch, I am going to tell you, if I do get rid of the Switch, it will be, basically, I will be getting rid of the Switch to basically whatever, GameStop will sell it to me for, plus 10% on it. So, like, if they're gonna offer me garbage money, I'll take it to another place, and if they're gonna offer me more for it, basically what I will do is I'll take the Nintendo and all these games that I have for the Switch, I will pretty much look at local places, and then I'll take 10% off of their prices, and just give everybody the benefit of the doubt to sell it with all of the games and everything. Because I am pretty much gonna probably be done with Nintendo, because it's like, if I wanna play on the go, I'm probably most likely going to get that Steam Deck, and the Steam Deck's actually going to be a lot better, in my opinion, because that Steam Deck is going to allow me to play offline without having to be connected to always be online. I'm pretty sure the Nintendo Switch 2 is not always online, but I'm pretty sure they're going to make sure that it's like that. And that's no longer... on it. But that's what I would do with it is, unless there's only like a couple people that would probably get it a lot cheaper though. But basically, you know, I would pretty much sell it for the price of what the, pretty much I might just sell it for the price of the Switch too, of the Switch, and then just sell it for that same price and for what they sell it for now. And then I look at all the, and just basically give out and just do it that way. I don't know. I'm kind of like, that's why I haven't updated the Switch. That's why it has not updated. Oh, I am in the wrong lane. You know what? Instead of me... Oh... Yeah, I made this huge. Yeah, I made that wrong. See, there goes Domino's. Wonder where they're taking their dough. Oh, whoa. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I did not realize. Thanks, Stickoser, for joining the TikTok live for the Trovo side. Thank you, and thank Dusty Dreamer for joining the TikTok live. Thank you guys. I think it's actually Will World Time that ends, and not. But it's like this whole thing is a mess. Technology, like just that alone is a mess, but not only is that a mess, the United States is a mess, because if this big budget bill that has not passed yet, even though that they voted to go to a full vote, they are they have basically said that we're not gonna today it's probably gonna get voted on tomorrow, at the latest. Because right now they're reading through this whole entire bill. They're going through they're basically making 16 hours worth of reading the bill today, and it's like, I know it's night, but we're gonna still do it. do the photo mode. But it's that's basically forcing me to back up. I don't do those kinds of things. I only do the ones where basically I get the safe option. Because okay, so we're at 6. It's gonna be a little bit more that we're gonna start needing to take longer on stuff. But it's like you look at the big beautiful bill. To be honest, the last thing I'm gonna say before I do quite get off for this stream, um. I shared this. Earlier today. And it basically, with a lot of what's in this big bill, and a lot of people don't know what's in all of this, the best place to do it is go talk to Chat GPT, and put that big beautiful bill into there and dissect what's the good and what's the bad out of all of this. Would probably be your best option to do it, and the bad things are going to outweigh the good. Trust me, there are more bad than good in this bill. And trust me. To those of you who don't know what's buried in this big bill, I posted this earlier. Bogus bill, buried in this big bogus bill. Prepare yourself for what's coming. If the Senate passes the one big beautiful bill and Trump signs it, it's that. It becomes law. And here's what that really means. Okay? He can delay or cancels elections legally. He can ignore Supreme Court rulings for a year or more. He can fire government workers for political disloyalty. Judges can't enforce their own orders. Keyword, judges can't enforce their own orders. Protests can be tracked and criminalized. LGBTQ rights, education, healthcare, and media gutted. Your VPN tracked, your vote suppressed, your speech flagged. This bill doesn't break the law. It rewrites the law so Trump never has to break it again. We don't need to wonder what would happen if the authoritarianism came to America. It's here in 1,100 pages dressed up as freedom. If you've ever said it won't be that bad or the courts will stop him, just know this bill makes it so they can't. So it's really it's really bad. And it's just sad to see that. And it's sad to see that we are losing rights. You know, this isn't just like, look, I will tell you, I will still drive in America into these states. But just remember, I will not have my business in these states. I will primarily focus on states that are, like I said, um, I already have a list of places of where I would pretty much put um my business when I focus on this. Um, and I will, because it's in a game like this, I will not put it in certain places. But I will tell you, um, um, let's do this. Let's go over to, this is the place where I always check my, um, where I do all of my, no thanks. Because I'm already there. Okay? Um, this is where I focus a lot of my attention to. Um, Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado. Definitely gonna do those states for now. I will tell you that Montana, um, Arizona has youth is a problem for that place. But I'm gonna focus mainly on, like, I will still probably do Arizona just because of it, but we will see how things shape up. I will not do Texas and Florida and any state right in this area. New Hampshire up there, I won't do that place either. So I will use this map from Aaron in the morning. I will continue to use that map. So it's where I go for it. She hasn't updated the risk map. Because it's been March, it's now April, May, June. It's now June since since this has come out. We haven't, like, Montana might have a little bit of a change, but we haven't seen much of it. So I don't know if nothing has really changed since March that warrants a change. But when the next one does, we will focus on things like that. But anyway, Steam Summer Sale, guys. Stuff that I would recommend that you guys go and pick up if you are somebody who loves video games. These are games that I would highly recommend you do. I would highly recommend you pick up Age of Empires. I know it's Microsoft. I know I said I wouldn't do it, but Microsoft has done Um, I would highly recommend you get the Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. It is $12 to get all of that. It is absolutely worth it. Um, the 20th anniversary collection, even if you're for it. I would also highly recommend you get, I believe Airport CEO is on sale as well. I would highly recommend you get all aircraft DLCs plus soundtrack bundle. Highly recommend that if you want the soundtrack. If you don't, it's only $1 more. It's only like $1.75 more. I'd highly recommend you get this one here because the soundtrack is $1.24. Um, and it's pretty much, I would recommend you guys get Airport CEO anyway. Another one that I'd highly recommend that's on my recommendations for all of this is Euro Truck and American Truck Simulator. We showed that earlier. Halo Master Chief Collection, Make Way, Parkitect is also a great game as well. It's got 50% on that. I have all of the players' favorite Taste of Adventures and Boss Blossom. I would recommend you get the Deluxe bundle because that gives you both of those. I would say another one I would recommend if you happen. Now I have this on PlayStation. I do not have this on PC though, but I would recommend Planet Coaster 2. The deluxe edition is 35% off right now. The premium, I would even go with the premium edition to be honest. For it, it gives you what's available. Personally, another game, and it's absolutely fantastic now. Would recommend Jurassic World Evolution 2. I have that game already though, so I'm not really there. But there is a lot of stuff that you guys can do for a lot of decent games and a lot of stuff that's out there for the summer sale. Decent stuff, decent games. I would highly recommend you get Planet Coaster 2 though. Personally, I would. If you do not have City Skylines 2, I would recommend you get City Skylines 2. You couldn't get the basic game is 20% off, but yeah, it's so new. But I would say I would recommend you actually get the Planet Coaster, the City Skylines bundle. Which is going to give you everything that you need. I would just recommend it because it's somewhat some of it's all on sale. If you don't have the game, get it. But I would check. I would personally, if it were me, okay. I would highly, if you will, I would highly recommend you go to Steam DB, steamdb.info, and make sure that you look at the hot you know, I would recommend that you check this out. Most played games on here. You know, check the games. Look for the best sales. I'll probably check Tell Me Why, because, it's free to keep. But I would check a lot of the... I would check on the Battlefield games, Battlefield Hardline, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4, 3, Battlefield 5 are there. Are also there. So if you haven't picked up, Jurassic World Evolution is $2.99 right now on Steam. Worth it. New historical low. So I would come here and check to see if you can. Remember, not like his new historical low, Riders Republic. Come check here. Historical low. Like you want. If it says a historical low, I would do that. Anyway, make sure that you guys have some of that good stuff. Come check this out. So anyway, I will catch you guys later. But I will tell you right now, we will stay for Washington, Oregon, Nevada, California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado are all going to be safe for building a company in those locations. If we decide we want to use all the vehicles in the game, because that's what I'm going to do. And then we also have Canada as well up there. So there is also a map already available for it. Anyway, I'm gonna save this here before I do get off though, and then we'll get off because it's time for me to get off. It's time for me to go eat. 8:29 2025. So anyway, I will catch you guys in the